Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are doing great. Students, today we are going to start with session 2 of chapter number 3, that is Ancient Towns and Scripture. So, let's get started. Students, in our previous session, we discussed about the Harappan civilization. What is the another name for Harappan civilization? Yes, very good. It is Indus Valley civilization. Students, we also discussed about the town planning of Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and Lothal. I told you all to revise the part that we discussed in session 1, and I hope you all have revised that. Students, along with that, I told you to revise the hard words that we discussed in session 1. If you have revised that, you should know the meaning of ancient towns. How many of you know the meaning of ancient towns? Very good. That means you have revised it. Ancient towns means towns belonging to the very distant past. Now, do you know the meaning of scripture? Scripture means writings that are regarded as holy in a particular religion. For example, the Bible in Christianity. So students, now let's get started with the part that we are going to discuss in our session 2. So, are you all ready? Very good. Let's start our session 2. Let us discuss about the town planning of Dholavira. Dholavira is an archaeological site located in the Khadirbet area in Bhachau Taluka in Kutch district. Students, as we discussed in session 1, generally the Harappan towns are divided into two parts, lower part and citadel. Colony of common people was on the east side, known as the lower part, and fort was on westward side, which was known as citadel. Harappan towns that are divided into two parts are known as bilateral. Dholavira is divided into three parts. This division is known as trilateral. First one was Citadel Fort. Second one was Upper Town. And third one was Lower Town. Most probably, rulers would have lived in the fort. In the Lower Town, colony of common people was there. And in the Upper Town, the houses have 2 to 5 comparatively bigger rooms. These big houses mostly belonged to the ruling class. The main speciality of Dholavira town is rainwater harvesting system and stadium. Students, do you know what is the meaning of rainwater harvesting? Students, the rainwater harvesting is the process of collecting the rainwater which used to run off. Instead of letting the rainwater to run off and go waste, it is stored and used for future purpose. The town had 2 stadiums, one of which is probably the world's oldest and biggest measuring stadium. It is located to the north of Citadel. It could accommodate as many as 10,000 people. The other stadium was much smaller in size. Kalibangan town of Rajasthan was the headquarters of agricultural revolution in Harappan civilization. The remains of farms here provide proof of this. The copper residue found here proves that copper tools must have been manufactured here, and these tools might have been used in agriculture. Residue means remnants. Here in this given image you can see the remnants of agricultural tools found in Kalibangan. Thus, the town planning of Indus civilization was well organized, well engineered, well planned, and efficient. It is a wonderful reflection of the governing power of ruling elite, the intelligence of the ingenious and craftsmanship of the craftsman. Elite means a selected group that is superior in terms of ability or qualities to the rest of a group or society. Let us understand the economic life in Harappan civilization. People of Indus Valley civilization were engaged in various economic activities like agriculture, livestock rearing, trade, and silk industry. Economic activity is an activity of providing, making, buying, or selling goods or services to satisfy day-to-day needs of life. For example, fruit seller. In agriculture, they produced crops like wheat, barley, peas, sesame, and mustard. They reared animals like cows, buffaloes, goats, and bullocks. They were engaged in internal as well as international trade. Trade which takes place within a country is called internal trade. Trade between two or more countries, on the other hand, is called international trade. Historians believed that cotton cloth produced here used to reach Mesopotamia and Egypt via Mesopotamia. In addition of this, people living here were also involved in professions like pottery, metalwork, bead making, sculpture, etc. Social life of the Harappan civilization. The main occupations of the people of Indus Valley were agriculture and livestock rearing. People of this time used to have wheat, barley, millet, peas, sesame, date palms, etc. in their diet. Due to pastoralism, that means cattle rearing, their diet consisted of milk and milk products also. A fishing hook has been found in the remnants of this civilization. So, their food must have included fish also. I know you all are very interested in knowing that what kind of clothes Harappan people used to wear. We get information regarding attire of the people of that time on the basis of sculpture found from the Indus Valley civilization. Men and women here wore two clothes. They wore clothes similar to dhoti on their waist, and in the upper part they wrapped a short cloth which came down from the shoulder. They mainly used cotton clothes. They were also familiar with woolen clothes. As the needles made of metal and ivory have been found, we can assume that they wore stitched clothes, although most of the people wore unstitched clothes. Ornaments like necklace, ring in finger, hand bracelets were worn by women as well as men. Women wore jewelry like bangles, earrings, waist belt, anklets, etc. These ornaments were made of gold, silver, and precious stones. People of Indus Valley civilization made utensils of earthenware, copper, bronze, etc. These included utensils like mug, bowl, earthen mug, metallic pot, saucer, casserole, etc. Students observe these images carefully. You will be able to find various kind of pottery in this image. This image is of remnants found from Harappan civilization. People of Indus Valley civilization made special type of toys for their children, which included bird-shaped whistles, rattlers, carriages, carts, marbles, toys in the shape of birds, animals, and men and women. In a way, creativity and artistry of these people is expressed in these toys. Toys like head-shaking animals and monkey-climbing tree were seen here. Let's quickly go through the summary of today's session. So students, I expect you all to revise the part that we have discussed today. Students, in our next session, we will discuss about the town planning of Dholavira and Kalibangan. We will also discuss about the economic life in Harappan civilization. Along with that, we will also discuss about the social life of the Harappan civilization. With that, let's end our today's session. Thank you. Have a nice day.